Hey everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. We're in the 3.5 Monster Manual on the Dwarf. Noble Warriors, blah blah blah, many subtypes. So, what I have here is one of the August DungeonSwag Loot Crate Minis. It is a Dwarf. So what I thought we would do is paint this up and see what we can get it looking like. Smartest way to do it, fastest way to do it is always speed paint. I'm not sure if that's what I want to do. Let me look at him again. You know what? I already dry brushed him in white, so we're going to do speed paint on him. I'm having some serious drama with my tape. Come on, tape. Oh, crap. All right, let me try again. Some days I know how to use tape. Some days I don't know how to use tape. Okay. All right. So let's start with a smaller brush. I'm going to use the Army Painter starter brush. I am not sponsored by Army Painter, just so everybody knows. Looks like a lot of this is a leather kind of material. So I'm going to get this hardened leather color here. I'm going to get a little drop of that. I'm going to start with that. Now, I use my mouth. You use what you want. But definitely moisten your brush. And we're going to try to get a lot of coverage. I'd rather have to come back and find details later than pick them all out right now. Once we get this first part done, we'll take a second and look at him. Sven, the artist who does these, is really, really like thorough and does a lot of detail. And honestly, sometimes until I get a dry brush on miniatures, I can't even tell what's detail and what's not because my eyes are, only human. So if you look in there, there's tons of small detail. And some of that we're just going to have to ignore, or would be here for days. All right. I think we got all the brown parts I need to get here for now. All right. So let's get a metallic. And since I want to use something over this metallic, what I'm going to do is use my lightest, shiniest metallic, my brightest little color I have. Something like that. Just capturing the metallics. And then on the outside of the shield, I'm not sure. Probably do all of it but those little like recessed parts right there in silver. Something like that. And I just want to hit this bottom part of his. Oh no, that's obviously wood there. Okay. So let's get a different brown and start doing some other stuff with it. This is a darker brown called dark wood. And some of the things I want to do with this are going to be the handle of his weapon. His little boots. Now the tips of his boots were supposed to be metal. I missed that, but I didn't realize it because I didn't have enough color on them or enough highlight on them to see like the dry brushing lines where it picked up the, what do you call it, the texture, but that's okay. We're just gonna make them brown. Maybe they're polished leather like army boots. Well, or like army boots used to be. I want to do that belt that we did. Since I couldn't really see it well, now I can. Then I want to do those dark parts inside the shield that we were talking about. And you got to be real careful on these. All right. So let's do his flesh now. So to do his flesh, I'm going to use this Crusader skin, but I'm actually going to come back after I use this with like another paint and lighten it up and highlight it more. Actually, that does not look bad how it is. Usually I struggle with this, getting it how I want it to look. This isn't bad. Okay. As I'm kind of happy with that skin tone, I'm going to leave it be. All right. So we have hair, and we have the wrap on his weapon, we have his base, and we have some other little details we want to do. But before we get to any of that, let's come back here on his backside with a little bit of this greedy gold. Let's paint these like bandolier looking things that I don't know what they're supposed to be. And they come around to the front. Okay. And then there's these little details on the front here. They're like little metal plates hanging off his armor. I don't know if they have any on the back. They don't have any on the back. There are two little weird stars there. And we're going to hit those. And then there's a plate hanging down here in the back. And I just want to hit that and this trim in gold too. And there's some trim on the front. We're going to have to do that now since we did it on the back. All right. It's starting to come together pretty good. There's a little weird spot in the back here where I touched some silver that shouldn't be. So I'm going to get that same brown we used initially and just come back in there and try to buff that out to where it doesn't look noticeable. Then I'm going to re-hit these leather straps with that same first brown and darken it up. And we got a little piece here that's visible coming up. And then we have these straps on the inside of his armor, on his shoulder guards, or wrist guards. We're going to darken those up a little bit. Alright. For the wrap of his handle, we're going to use this pallid bone. It'll make it look kind of like a bandage or something, I think. All right. Now, we gotta do his hair. And I want him to have orange, fiery orange hair. Because he, in my worlds, in my games, even when I played D&D and even now that I run Tomorrow Comes Doom, I've always had this proud Dwarven clan that lives in the Granite Halls called Clan Battlebeard. And they always tend to have fiery orange hair. Alright, so he's going to have little bands in there of color, but we have to let that dry some. And let's get a small brush. He has a headband, believe it or not, in there. Right there in his forehead, there's a little headband for no reason whatsoever besides to irritate me. So to do that headband, I'm going to get some of this weapon bronze here. And we use that same weapons bronze to dab any studs. That we see. All right. Now for the armor. Let's get something to doll it back some and make it look a little better. So this is Gravelord Gray, and I'm putting a dab of speed paint medium in it. I'm going to stir that around. Until I get a pretty uniform consistency. And then we're going to start with the shoulder pads. Try to get a nice even coat on them. Now we're going to do the arm guards with it. The ones on his forearms and his wrists. And his chest piece, or belt buckle, or whatever that is. I'm going to touch the handle of his shield. And I'm going to leave that go. There's a little bit of darkness up here I don't like. Wow, look at that storm. Out of nowhere. Just going to get a little of the darkness out of the high spots that I don't like. And that really picks up that detail. Now for his shield and his axe. For his shield, I think we can do... what's this? Runic Gray. And I'm not going to water that down right now. I'm just going to pull that out real thin. If you need to go back over this, like I need to hit this a little better up top here. Just take your time, spread it around. Come around, clean up the outside. You don't need to worry about getting behind there too much, I don't think. Alright, now I'm going to do the back of his shield with that blue. I'm doing it a little thicker. Okay. So we have his axe. So for his axe, I'm getting some of this Cloudburst blue, and I'm going to mix it with that Runic Gray. Then I'm going to get some speed paint medium. I'm going to thin that down a little bit. I'm running out of space here. So I'm just going to grab another little piece of tape. Take the whole mixture up here. It's still too dark, so I'm going to put some more thinner there. There we go. That speed paint medium really breaks this stuff down and makes it easy to spread around and get where you want the colors you want. And we'll let that sit for a minute. I'm going to hit the handles of the shield with that blue we just made. There we go. Something like that. Now, when this axe dries out a little bit, not too much on here, I'm going to scrape some of that off. When it dries out a little bit, we'll come back and we'll hit the blades and the raised areas that we want to with that bright silver again. And it'll look sharp. That was a joke, but not intentionally. Alright, so the base. Let's get rid of that nice brush. Let's get a cheap brush and get some of our burnt umber from our crapple barrel burnt umber. We can take our tape away. We're going to need a little bit of tape later for silver, but I think for now we're okay. Let's get a little piece of fabric and wipe away that little bit of paint that bled through the tape where the pieces were touching. Alright, so we're just going to start painting up this base brown and not hit his feet. Okay, let's get that nice and good. Now don't forget, if you get a little bit of brown on his axe, the end of it's going to be repainted silver, so it'll be okay. Alright, we got that color brown. Now, let's get a medium tone brown. Pardon me. Holy shizen. Let's just break that up. Here comes some more of that crazy ring. Alright. Grabbing some pavement. Do his rocks. Oh, you just had the one rock. Okay. And some pewter. Same gray. Or new gray. Pewter gray. And I'm just dabbing around on that rock to give it some different variation. Wow, that rain is coming down, y'all. 'Tis a storm, dudes. Found a little spot where I missed with orange. We're going to need another piece of tape for the silver anyways. So if you're just cheap bullshit painting and doing quick, you can use cardboard, right? And if it absorbs a little bit of moisture, it won't kill you. But if you're using expensive paints and there's a quality of that paint, like a consistency that you need, you really don't want to use cardboard. It'll soak up some of that moisture. It will screw you over. Okay. Let's get that bright silver out again. This is called plate mail. And you just need the tiniest little dot of that right now. And then if you see anything else that needs cleaned up, you can do that at this point. So that took us about 30 minutes. He's definitely tabletop ready. We could have gone through and hit some of the other details a little bit more. But what we're going to do now, we're going to hit him with the +2 hot air gun of burning. And we're going to flock his base. Oh, I forgot something. Time out. Man, that storm is kicking. Let's get a little bit of black. Oh, that's a lot of black. So since this is going to be an official D&D miniature, not D&D, but you know, this is going to be a miniature I use on my tabletop regularly for campaigns, and he'll be playable. I want to make sure I stick with my theme of going around the outside on these. I kind of got out of the habit of doing this with the other monsters in the monster manual. I just, you know, if they have a taller base, I hit the outside. But, you know, for like this kind of stuff, I haven't even really been thinking about it. But we want him to fit in with all the other theme of my other miniatures. Wow, that storm is like crazy. I think it's a good thing I have my sump pump on in case it storms out. It has a float and it'll. Okay. Clean out my brush, set it aside. We're going to use the hot air on him again. So here's the +2 hot air gun of burning. Dude, that is coming down. Hopefully it washes my company car, because I don't want to have to. We're gonna get a little bit of clear white Elmers here, or clear Elmers, not white. We're gonna get a toothpick and pick some spots where he needs grass or flock. Something like that, guys. Can't get him to focus nice. So there's our dwarf for the Monster Manual 3.5, and this will be more of your mountain dwarf. You know, the high-end dwarf that's better than his cousins and thinks he was the original type of dwarf that existed and such. So thanks for watching. If you like what you see here, like, subscribe, share, comment, hit the notification bell icon. Please come to join our Discord and come to the website and buy some miniatures. That'd be amazing. We'd love that a lot. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. And our next entry, I believe, is the eagle. Yep, giant eagle. It takes a giant to make life simple. So I hear. By the way, I'm going to put him on the turntable after I clear coat him. And we'll talk about how you run dwarves. Thanks for watching.